What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome back here to episode 5 of the Ultimate Rebuilding series here on NBA 2K24. We are going to be going into the 1996, 7, and 8 NBA seasons in this video, so we're almost at the new millennium. That will come there in episode 6. We have controlled 4 teams so far. Today will be the 5th, obviously. We had the Clippers in episode 1, could not win the big one. We had the Rockets in episode 2. Also couldn't win the big one, lost 2 straight times to Boston in episode 2. That just killed me. But with the Nets, we won 2 out of the next 3 years. And then the last episode, we won it with Minnesota in the final season, with Glenn Rice being your finals MVP. David Robinson has been dominating the 90s. Michael Jordan has kind of been a bust as well, if you've been following the series along. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking control of the Philadelphia 76ers. So the Philadelphia 76ers had the worst record in the NBA last year, going 18-64. They no longer have Maurice Cheeks. They no longer have Moses Malone or Julius Erving. They have a 38-year-old Larry Bird, who has played 3 years there. He could potentially retire this offseason. They have Fat Lever, who's also 34 years old. He's got 2 years left on his deal. He's been there in Philly for a while. They have Rodney Rogers, who's 23 years old. He was the 17th overall pick a few drafts ago. 29-year-old Devin Reed. Albert King, who we've had before in Houston back in episode 2. He is 35 years old. Scott Skiles, one of the more underrated passers all time. He's 31, even though he's not been in the NBA much for a long time. Greg Anderson, Jim Paxson, Gar Pax, yeah, that Jim Paxson, Bruce Paul, Mac Potter, Tom Hammond, Jeff Ruland, who was very good in Cleveland, but is now 36 years old. It's basically a retirement home here. Chris Leonard and Scott Burrell. So, yeah, we're going to try to turn this Philly team around today. I don't know if they've won a title in this series so far. They did. Back in 1987, they beat the Mavericks in 5, and they also won in the year, I guess, before we started this, because the first year was 1984. The past numbers for this season was Larry Bird averaging 15 points, Scott Skiles averaging 10.8, Potter averaging, yeah, this team was bad. So we are going to have a tough rebuild for us. And this is a pretty loaded 1995 NBA draft with Kevin Garnett, Damon Stoudemire, Antonio McDyess, Rasheed Wallace, Jerry Stackhouse all in this. So yeah, hopefully we do land a top 3 pick. Jim Paxson retires. There goes Larry Bird. There goes Jeff Ruland. So I was hoping Bird wasn't going to retire to trade him. There goes Larry Nance in Utah, Kelly Chupacca, who we've had in recent episodes, Tom Chambers, Ricky Pierce, who we've controlled as well. Jeff Malone, Suits character, and a player that we've had in Houston retires, Clyde Elliott, Seth Outlaw. All right, a lot of guys retire. A lot of coaches have been retiring as well in this game so far. Who's going to the Hall of Fame? Duh, it's Larry Bird. Larry Bird gets his jersey retired by the Celtics. Purvis Short by the Golden State Warriors. And we are adding 2 new expansion teams, the Toronto Raptors and the Vancouver Grizzlies. We're going to forbid hand checking, and then we're going to have different team brandings to the Heat, Knicks, Rockets, Supersonics, and Atlanta Hawks. So yeah, now we got to go through the expansion draft as well, when we didn't even have that much talent on the team. So yeah, there's still only 2 divisions in the NBA, adding these expansion teams. So yeah, here we are at the draft lottery. We have the number 1 odds at the number 1 pick, and these are the old lottery odds, so a 25% chance. Please give me number 1. I'd love to add Kevin Garnett to this team. I mean, Jerry Stackhouse, Rasheed Wallace wouldn't be a bad fallback option, but come on, give me Kevin Garnett. Give me the rights to the number 1 overall selection. I wasn't able to draft Shaquille O'Neal. I wasn't able to draft Hakeem Olajuwon. I've seen a lot of studs go. I wasn't able to draft Chris Webber in the last episode. Come on, let me be able to draft Kevin Garnett. All right, I give up. We just dropped to 6. Really? 1 to 6. Oh, come on. We still have to add 1 more expansion team to the NBA. Oh my God, which is like the Hornets Pelicans team. Oh my God, Supersonics get number 1, Heat 2, Lakers 3, Grizzlies 4, Raptors 5, and then we fall to 6. I'm pissed. Like, that is just brutal, man. I win 18 games, and you're going to make me fall to pick 6. That is just like, what? Come on. We are going to hire Austin Newsome to become our next head coach. And I got to deal with the expansion draft as well. So I think Fat Lever will have some trade value. So I'm going to keep Rodney Rogers and him. Michael Potter looks pretty good. He was the 5th. I don't know. He was the 5th overall pick last year. But, like, do I value what I can get back in return? I think I can get somebody better back in return for Lever, I should say, than Mac Potter. So, you know what? We'll do that. We'll trade him. Potter, of course, goes number 1, the guy I didn't keep. Kiki Vanderway, 2. We'll see if we notice anybody else going in this draft. Nobody, I think, that we've controlled. Well, there goes Monty Williams. Okay. Jimmy Posey. And, yeah, there goes Bob Isley. That's pretty much it from all I knew. How did the Grizzlies? Oh, well, they were... Yeah, I don't know what team Monty Elliott was previously on, but whoever didn't have to keep him really worked out. You just got to keep, like, a shitty guy on your team, and then you're chilling. The 6th overall pick. Are you kidding me, man? All right, well, I might try to trade up for KG. If I can get Rasheed Wallace, I would be a fan of that. I mean, I don't really have anything to trade up if I wanted to move picks 31 to move up, or I guess that would be pick 30. I don't really know if I want to. All right, so let's see. If Kevin Garnett doesn't go number 1, maybe I'll trade up. I'm just like so pissed that he ends up going number 1 out of high school. I'm so pissed, man. We had a 25% chance that I dropped to 6. Like, they're out to get me. They really are. Maybe we just tank next year, too. Take Joe Smith. Okay, that's a player I didn't want to draft, but he looks pretty good. I mean, he was the number 1 overall pick originally. 80 overall, 19 years old. 3, the Lakers take Antonio McDyess out of Alabama. Also, pretty good. I'm hoping I can get either Jerry Stackhouse or Rasheed Wallace. So, hopefully the 2 expansion teams don't F me over. And there we go. Damon Stoudemire goes next, who looks pretty good, too. So, this might be a very good draft class. We are guaranteed Stackhouse or Rasheed Wallace, and it will be Jerry Stackhouse. I wanted Rasheed. I did want Rasheed out of UNC, who's not in 2K. You got to download a draft class for this. So, let's take Jerry Stackhouse with the 6th overall pick in the NBA draft out of UNC. Yeah, UNC was stacked with Stackhouse, no pun intended, and Rasheed Wallace. All right, and we're going to get Theo Ratliff here with pick 30 in this draft, the first pick in the 2nd round. All right, so yeah, let's hope that this team is pretty good, or at least Stackhouse is pretty good. Michael Finley ended up going number 11 to Boston, so we're going to sign Stackhouse, and we're going to sign Theo Ratliff, who could be our starting center next year. Let's pick up the team option on Rodney Rogers. We will have some cap space as well, and we'll give Tom Hammonds the qualifying offer, as well as Bruce Paul. All right, so we're going to get a little bit younger with this trade. Fat Weaver and our 1998 2nd-round pick for Dino Radha, who is a center from Croatia. He was the 9th overall pick in 1989, and he's a double-double guy for the Charlotte Hornets. So we're going to do this trade. He's a good shot blocker. That means Theo Ratliff will be the backup center, and he's definitely better than Mac Potter. So let's do this trade. We also save a couple $1 million in that deal as well. Now that the salary cap has gone up, we can go out and sign Akeem Olajuwon, but he is 32. I think Scottie Pippen to Philly would be really good, but that is kind of expensive. I mean, Brad Daughtry is good, but we don't need another center. We could try to get our franchise point guard in Mohamed Abdul-Rauf, who is pretty good, and he's 26 years old. So you know what? I may try to get him on a front-loaded contract. I don't know if I'll be able to snag him, but let's try. Player option on the last year. I would still have $11 million remaining. So you know what? I'm also going to try to get Tony Kukoc as well. So getting Kukoc and Mohamed Abdul-Rauf would be a nice 1-2 punch. So we are able to sign both. I'm not going to pick up these options on Burrell and Chris Leonard. We're not going to renounce the rights on mainly everybody. Scott Skiles, no, but Albert King, yes. Bruce Paul, no. Yeah, so that's fine for us right now. We get Mohamed Abdul-Rauf and Tony Kukoc, so let's go. Those are 2 nice additions for us, and we might still be rebuilding, but yeah, those are good pickups. As Akeem Olajuwon spends 3 years in Atlanta, and he goes to Dallas. He's been one of the best players in this series. Scottie Pippen joins the LA Lakers. Of course he does. LA gets everybody. Isaiah Thomas re-signs with the Boston Celtics. Clyde Drexler re-signs with Portland. Looks like he's going to be a Blazer for life. Karl Malone goes to San Antonio. He has spent some time in Milwaukee. Brad Daughtry leaves Dallas to go to Charlotte. So yeah, it's like New Orleans that needs to be the last team added. Mohamed Abdul-Rauf, we picked up him, 26 years old, $16.39 million, but it is a front-loaded deal, which is kind of nice. Mark Aguirre goes to Detroit, stays in Detroit. Larry Johnson stays with Seattle. He's been a beast. He was the number 1 overall pick in 1991, and here were some other signings as well. There's Tony Kukoc, who I'm really excited about. I'm going to look to snag Sean Butler on a 2-year deal to probably be the backup point guard behind Mohamed Abdul-Rauf next year. I'm also going to look to pick up John Kersey, who spent some time there in Philadelphia, and bring him back on a 2-year deal as well. We do need another power forward. Derek Coleman, there's Kevin Willis, who's a little bit older, so I'm going to give him a 2-year deal, but we can always look to trade him as well at the deadline, so we get him on a 2-year deal. Nice. He's still going to be the backup power forward for us most likely next year, and are we going to get Sean Butler? We do. We also pick up John Kersey as well. We could also afford Cliff Robinson, who is 5 offers. He's a great system fit. We'd have to pay him a decent amount of money. I am tempted to bringing him in. Kenny Johnson would be cool, or excuse me, Kevin Johnson, but we do have our point guard spot locked up. I mean, I'll offer him a deal because I would still have a decent amount left over. 3 years, $9 million basically. We will backload it. I think you'd prefer that. Tom Hammonds is going to get a deal, and we get Cliff Robinson. All right, we may actually be good next year. We are just splurging here in free agency. Let's bring back Tom Hammonds as well. And yeah, that was a great free agency class in my opinion. We also have some tradable contracts. I think we're actually going to be kind of solid and respectable next year. We don't see too much regression. Radha stays or he goes down. And overall, Rauf goes up, Rodney Rogers goes up, who might be the starting power forward. I mean, yeah, we do have Rogers, Robinson, and Willis right now. Ooh, Kersey regresses 3 overalls. I wonder why. Love the 1995 picture just being a modern-day Grizzlies photo. All right, so we are going to have a 10-man rotation. Yeah, Hammonds, we don't really need another big. I mean, how old is he? He's 28. Yeah, this is fine. So we're going to go Mohamed Abdul-Rauf, getting the most amount of minutes at 35 a night. Then we have Jerry Stackhouse and Kukoc on the perimeter. Really like this wing duo because Stackhouse is 20, Kukoc is 27. Rodney Rogers starting at the 4, Radha at the 5, and then we have Cliff Robinson as the 6th man, Kevin Willis, Sean Butler, Theo Rowlett, and John Kersey being the final guys in the rotation. Under our new head coach, Austin Newsome, we are only 2.5 star balance. Okay, Rogers isn't a great fit. Cliff Robinson would get me up to 4 stars. All right, but I'm not going to make that switch right now. We take a look at the mock drafts. Sharif Abdul-Rahim out of California, who ended up going to the Grizzlies, projected #1 pick. Oh yeah, I forgot how good the 1996 draft class was. AI, Ray Allen, Steve Nash, Derek Fisher, Stephon Marbury, Peja Stojakovic. Oh yeah, and some guy named Kobe Bryant. You also have Eric Dampier, Marcus Camby. It's one of the greatest draft classes of all time for sure. We start off the season with a back-to-back against the Detroit Pistons. Okay, we ended up losing the first one on the road by 13 points, and we ended up winning at home in the next one. I honestly don't really care our record this year. We just saw how loaded that draft class was. So if we make the playoffs, cool. If we don't, fine. Hopefully we can end up drafting another good guy. They really just offered me Fat Lever for Radha. Again, I just made that trade in the offseason. Why would I do it again? All right, so yeah, I guess we're not going to be great this year. We are 9-19, which is fine because the draft class is loaded. We can move Kevin Willis at the deadline, and we can just kind of recruit these assets to really try to ball out in 1997 and 98. But yeah, 10 games under 500. Mohamed Abdul-Rauf is having an incredible first year in Philly. That's why we signed him to be our best guy. Tony Kukoc, career high in points, shooting 40% from 3, 4.5 rebounds, 5.7 assists a night. Dino Radha, 13 and 11. Field goal percentage has dropped this year. He's giving me 2 blocks a night. Jerry Stackhouse, I think, has been fine as a rookie. Really efficient, 46, 43, 81 splits. Cliff Robinson off the bench. I think he's fine there. I mean, him and Rodney Rogers, I feel like is a really good 1-2 punch. Rogers will be a free agent at the end of the year. So, yeah, if we're struggling at the deadline, Sean Butler could get moved, even though he is averaging 11.4 assists per 36. Willis is definitely going to get moved. Maybe Kersey gets moved. So, yeah, we'll see how we are in about a month and a half when the February trade deadline is upon us. But maybe we string along a winning streak, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm going to be a buyer at the deadline. So yeah, 16-24. I don't mind selling a little bit here at the deadline. I think that could be beneficial for us. So we're going to get a little bit younger with this trade. Kevin Willis and John Kersey are going to go to San Antonio. We get Enrique Pena and Mark Bryant, who's an expiring, but Enrique Pena is the one to be interested about. He was the 17th overall pick last year. He is a current rookie, having an okay start to the season, 6'8", small forward out of Argentina, and I think he's going to be a good backup wing for us. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for us at the trade deadline. We have no contract extensions to go over at the moment. Like right now in the mock, we are projected pick 8, which would land me Peja Stojakovic. Like I am perfectly okay with that. We could also trade up because I do have another future first round pick from the Blazers we inherited and a second from Denver. So that is nice. David Robinson in Houston with their new logo. There it is. He is the front runner to win MVP again, but he tore his ACL. Oh no, David Robinson was by far the best player in this series. We drafted him during the 87 draft in Houston. He might not win MVP. He might go to Chris Webber in year 3. That would be something else. Sean Kemp in New Jersey. He's really had like multiple breakout years. He's a beast. Scottie Pippen's first year in LA, and then Shaq in year 4 in Boston. Rookie of the year, KG at the top. Joe Smith's actually been pretty good. Antonio McDyess, Don Patterson, and David Stoudemire. So no Jerry Stackhouse, come on. Antonio McDyess, top of the 6 man of the year race. Then Derek McKee, Robert Horry, there in Minnesota from episode 4 that you guys just watched. Sean Oliver, and then Eric Murdoch. Then you got Depoy might not go to David Robinson. He's hurt. Scottie Pippen, I didn't even mention that. Dislocated his left patella. He's out for the year. So Shaq could steal MVP and Depoy. Most improved is obviously going to come through somebody on a expansion team. But yeah, David Robinson was the front runner for Clutch Player of the Year, Depoy, and MVP, and probably won't win any of them. Dikembe Mutombo was traded. Yeah, we traded him in the last episode. It didn't work out. And just kind of here are the stats at the current moment. Hopefully Stackhouse can finish off the season strong. I don't know how it's a 52% true shooting, I guess because his field goal percentage isn't great, but I think we'll be fine rest of the season. Let's just see this team improve. I mean, maybe we end up making the playoffs. I mean, we have now won 4 in a row. Well, would you look at that? So Chris Webber ends up taking home MVP with David Robinson getting hurt. KG in Seattle is your Rookie of the Year. Winston Garland, 6th Man of the Year in his first year in Boston with that horrible efficiency though, but he does average 18 and 7 off the bench. Shaq ends up winning Depoy. Mac Potter, most improved, of course, the guy we traded away. Yep, he was pretty good, but I'm still okay with it at the end of the day. The Nets coach of the year, we controlled the Nets in episode 3. Jason Kidd in Cleveland in year 2, all NBA first team. Yeah, and like whoever the Clippers took, like Long Willie, John Willie, he was terrible. Or it was just such a dumb pick because Kidd ended up going 2. They could have had Chris Webber and Jason Kidd together. We do get Muhammad Abdul-Rauf on All NBA first team. Hey, that's pretty cool. Chris Webber, Karl Malone, and Hakeem Olajuwon in his first year in Dallas. Second team, you got Mark Price, who has now been on a couple teams in this video. We drafted him in Houston, then he went to LA. Now he's currently on the Milwaukee Bucks. You got Penny Hardaway, KG as a rookie, Sean Kemp, and Shaq. Third team, Clyde Drexler, Reggie Miller, who averaged 24 points on a 50-40-90 efficiency. Glenn Robinson, who was the 4th overall pick in the 1994 draft. Vin Baker, who is the front court partner to Shaq. That is absurd. And Patrick Ewing on the Chicago Bulls in his age 33 season. Defensive first team, you have Shaq, Hakeem, Ewing, KG, and Alonzo Mourning, who's been very good in Denver. And then you got Rick Smits, Ronnie Cycli, Vlade Divac, Calbert Shaney, and Sean Kemp on all defensive second team. Jerry Stackhouse does not make all rookie first team, but he does make all rookie second team. Rasheed Wallace looks solid as a rookie, nothing too crazy. Same with Stackhouse. So we did make the playoffs, all right, even though we kind of sold at the deadline, which is shocking to see. We go 43 and 39. Okay, all right. You have Utah, who no longer has Magic Johnson. They got Gary Payton, the glove, as the 1 seed. The Lakers, there as a 3 seed, still have James Worthy, so shout out to them. I believe Boston, I forgot who ended up getting Magic Johnson. Oh, yeah, it was the Miami Heat. They currently have him right now, and they were the 4 seed. So how did the new expansion teams do? Toronto was 19 and 63. Vancouver was 15 and 67, so not great. I don't think that we are going to beat the New Jersey Nets. We know how good that team is with Reggie Miller and Sean Kemp. But hey, maybe we can win a game, and I'd be very impressed with this team. There it is. Oh, my God, we beat them by 26. In game 1. That's kind of crazy. Muhammad Abdul-Rauf drops 35 and 9, 18 and 9 for Cliff Robinson, 18 and 8 for Rodney Rogers, 13 and 8 for Jerry Stackhouse. There we go. Game 2 goes to New Jersey by 1 point. Oh my God, we were 2 points away from being up 2-1 as an 8 seed. Game 3, we're up 2-1. We win by 2. Wow, all right, so we're winning some close games here, 23 and 23 for Sean Kemp. They have Mark Jackson as well as their starting point guard. That's kind of absurd. They have Terry Cummings, who is how old now? 35 there. Ralph Sampson, who's 35. So they got some oldies there in the starting 5. They tied up 2-2, end up blowing us out by 30. Kemp is just dominating us on the boards. Game number 5, we end up getting eliminated. I always forget, yeah, it is best of 5. We ended up losing by 2. Oh my God, game 2 and 5. Oh, we lost by 1 and then by 2. That is so unfortunate. Sean Kemp averaged almost 17 rebounds in those 5 games as Sean Butler, okay, dropped 22 here. Rodney Rogers, 20 and 8. Raja, 27 and 5, 16 and 12 for Kukoc. You know what? That was a good season nonetheless. I honestly thought we were going to be one of the worst teams in the NBA. You have the Nets versus the Knicks, Pistons and Celtics. The Clippers beat the Timberwolves, a team we controlled with Glenn Rice, Steve Smith, Rod Strickland. These are all very familiar names. And the Clippers are in the conference finals, which is cool. We control them in episode 1. They still have Craig Elo. No, we had Craig Elo in Houston. I don't really think it's anybody. Jared Scott we had in Minnesota. He is now on the Clippers with Chris Webber, who is just dominating. They're going up against Utah, like I mentioned, led by Gary Payton. Boston, who is led by Isaiah Thomas. And they have such a good front court, man. And they have the 6th Man of the Year with Del Curry as well, who's just one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. 51% from 3 in the playoffs, going up against the Knicks with Michael Williams, Hersey Hawkins, Sean Elliott, Donnell Marshall, and Zach Jeffries. Very surprised the Knicks are there. Very surprised. Yeah, the Celtics sweep them. Jazz 1-6. And the finals goes to the Boston Celtics with Vin Baker and Shaquille O'Neal. They could have a dynasty on their hands. And Shaq is your finals MVP. So, Sidney Moncrief, Joe Barry Carroll, Kiki Vanderway all retire. Albert King, Jay Vincent, Dale Ellis. All right, some notable names that we have definitely controlled throughout this series. Michael Cage as well. Bunch of staff retirements. And Sidney Moncrief heads to the Hall of Fame. He gets his jersey retired by the Milwaukee Bucks, which is pretty cool. We will have a rule change. Players will wear their NBA team jerseys during the All-Star game. Hate they got rid of that. And then we have some branding changes to the Jazz, Lakers, Pistons, Spurs, Timberwolves, and Boston Celtics. So it is the 1996 draft lottery. Let's see what happens. We are going to be picking right outside the lottery at number 15 as the Charlotte Hornets land number 1, the Grizzlies 2, the Suns with their first year without Scottie Pippen at 3, Raptors 4, Hawks 5, Kings at 6. All right, so it is the 1996 draft. Kobe Bryant going to the Hornets. Well, that technically happened, but then it was the Vlade Divac trade, right? Peja Stojakovic might go to the Grizzlies, AI to the Suns, Marbury to the Raptors, Nash to the Hawks. That would be very interesting. I would love to get Ray Allen or Sharif Abdul-Rahim, so I may try to trade up, including that 1997, so the top 3 protected pick from the Blazers next year, as well as pick 15. I don't really want to move any of my players, so how far can that move me in this draft? Could I get to, like, pick 5? Okay, definitely not pick 4. All right, it may be tough to make a trade. Would Atlanta do this at 5? They say no. All right, what about pick 6? I don't really know if it'd be worth to go to 7, but I think I may try it as well just because of how loaded this draft class is. Kings at 6, would they do this? They say no. They might not even do this at 7. Seattle? They had KG last year. They may do this. They say yes to that. Okay, so we move up 8 spots. I don't have that Blazers first next year. It will hurt if that is a good pick. There might have been a protection on it as the Hornets draft Kobe Bean Bryant out of Lower Merion High School in Pennsylvania with the number 1 overall pick. It's going to be cool to see Kobe's career in Charlotte. AI goes to Vancouver. That is cool as well. Peja Stojakovic goes 3 to the Phoenix Suns. Stephon Marbury goes number 4 to the Toronto Raptors out of Georgia Tech. 5 is going to be Steve Nash to the Atlanta Hawks. All right, that is a great pick for them. And then who do the Kings take at 6? Don't take somebody I would take. And they are going to trade the pick. What? I offered you a trade. They trade it for AI. Did AI just call up Vancouver and be like, I'm not going to Canada? No, there's a 0% chance that happens. So they get nothing else, and they end up taking Ray Allen. I wanted Ray Allen. We could take Marcus Camby. I think I may go with Sharif Abdul-Rahim, which makes me regret trading up for him because I would have taken Ray Allen, but I'm going to take him another power forward because now we have Rodgers, we have him, and we have Cliff Robinson, so there could be another trade in place. Maybe I should have taken Marcus Camby. So yeah, Kobe's an 82 at 17. That's kind of crazy. You have AI, Peja, Marbury, Nash, Allen. Raheem is 79 overall at 19. I'll take that. Yeah, so let's sign him because if we look and see who the Supersonics took at 15, like JD Porter. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't wait till that pick. So we're going to pick up the team option on everybody. I could move Hammonds, Ratliff definitely picking up Rodney Rogers as well. Pat Ewing, Sean Kemp is a free agent. He's definitely going to be the top guy. And it's nice to see like teams have cap space. Like I had like $15 million last year. At the start of this series, we had like $3 million. Shaq is restricted. David Robinson, not going to go for a bargain with the injury. We have basically no money, which is kind of expected. We have no players to really re-sign. So I'm going to try to land Lance Jeffries on a 1-year deal, and we pick him up. We are going to renounce the rights on everybody else. All right, so we got 2 point guards going into next year. We have a shooting guard. We have 2 small forwards. Hopefully we get the other small forward there. We have a plenty of power forwards. Maybe I'm going to move Tom Hammonds in a trade right now. And I'm going to get the Miami Heat's top 3 protected first rounder next year for him. That's actually a great return. And yeah, we are going to get Lance Jeffries. I'm also going to try to sign Vinny Del Negro on a 2-year deal as well. There we go. So Shaq stays in Boston. Reggie Miller leaves New Jersey, and signs with the Bulls. The Bulls let Patrick Ewing walk, and the Rockets get him. So that means David Robinson. Oh, man, I should have waited to see where David Robinson went. Well, oh my God. Do they really have Magic Johnson and David Robinson? No! Magic Johnson goes to Washington. Okay, interesting. Alonzo Mourning stays in Denver. Sean Kemp goes to Portland, so that's going to help their pick, which makes me feel better about trading it. Charles Barkley goes to the Nets from Houston. Wow, some turnover here. Vlade Divac leaves Portland, goes to the Knicks. John Stockton leaves Portland. Oh, maybe Portland may stink next year. Terry Mills, who we had in Minnesota, goes to Golden State. That's a nice pickup for them. Christian Laettner stays in Detroit. All right, so taking a look at player progression, I like this team going into next year's season. I'm hoping we could be better than an 8 seed in the playoff hunt. And yeah, the last NBA expansion team came in 2004 with the Charlotte Bobcats coming in, and then like the Hornets went to New Orleans. So yeah, we will have the 1997 draft class coming up. I don't believe that was as good as 1996. The 98 draft class was really good with Dirk and Paul Pierce. Oh, I mean, this draft class did have Tracy McGrady, Chauncey Billups, and Tim Duncan. Steven Jackson as well, Keith Van Horn. You have Jock Vaughn, Tim Thomas. Okay, some notable names. All right, so it's going to look as followed. 32 minutes apiece to Stackhouse and Kukoc, 35 to Mohamed Abdul-Rauf, 27 to Robinson, 27 to Rogers, 27 to Sharif Abdul-Rahim, 30 to Raha. We got 15 to Butler and Ratliff, and like Vinny Del Negro, Pena, or Jeffries will be the first guy in. System proficiency is 3.5 star balance with this squad. First game of the season's at home against the Utah Jazz. I like this logo too. I miss it. Reminds me of like AK-47, Andre Kirilenko, Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer. We got 24 and 14 for Mohamed Abdul-Rauf. I don't even know. I think it wasn't that exact logo. They ended up changing it, but it was like the similar format with the ring around the mountains and Utah and Jazz in the middle. I really liked it. I don't really like the note now. This was cooler, the mountains, than the musical note. Raha has a good game there. There's Rodney Rogers with 16. Sharif Abdul-Rahim, who the Vancouver Grizzlies, I believe, ended up drafting, 13 and 6 in his NBA debut. Road game against the Cavs. Hate this logo for them, like the LeBron era where it's like Cavs across the middle. You guys know what I'm talking about. Mohamed Abdul-Rauf, and we have Sharif Abdul-Rahim. They both ball out for us. Raha has 20 rebounds. 14 rebounds there. Cliff Robinson, but he goes 1 for 9. Road game against the Spurs. I don't like these colors. I like the silver and black way better. We ended up losing by 21. I don't know if that is a hot take. It may be one. I do like that Atlanta Hawk logo. That is new. Like, love the Raptor logo. Love the Bucks logo. I never really liked this New Jersey Nets logo. That Magic logo is goated. This Pistons logo is actually goated. I hate that they got rid of it. And this Minnesota Timberwolves logo is goated as well. All right, so we are 24 and 15 at the NBA trade deadline. We are currently the 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. Kobe Bryant and the Hornets are already the 3 seed, so he's already changed in the course of that franchise. The Pacers are the 2 seed with Tim Hardaway, Jamal Mashburn, Howard Williams, who's definitely towards the end of his career. Okay, and then yeah, you have Boston with Vin Baker and Shaquille O'Neal and Isaiah Thomas. It's absurd what they're doing in Boston. Utah, 34 and 7 with Gary Payton, like low key, like the biggest like ceiling raiser in the league. He just makes this team so good because they're not even that good around him. He's just that dude. You got the Clippers at 2, Blazers 3, Warriors 4. There's Dallas at number 5. Taking a look here at the season stats as Mohamed Abdul-Rauf leading the team in points, 7.8 assists as well, and 1.6 steals a night. 50, 40, 90 season from him. Jerry Stackhouse improving very well in year 2. He's got a 54% true shooting percentage now, 16, 3, and 4, 45, 35, 91 splits. There's Sharif Abdul-Rahim, 13 and 6.7, 2.2 assists as well. There's Raha averaging a double-double, 3 assists, 1.5 blocks. Tony Kukoc, 12.5 points, 6 assists as well, which is nice to see. And then, yeah, like the power forward trio, like I don't really know between Abdul-Rahim, Robinson, and Rogers, like who's the guy. I'm leaning toward Sharif, but we'll see. I'm not going to make any trades at the deadline. I like what we got at the moment. It looks like, yeah, Tim Duncan might go to the Vancouver Grizzlies. That would be something else after they had to trade away Allen Iverson. But Tim Duncan and Ray Allen would be a nice 1-2 punch for the future. Chris Webber, front runner for MVP. No David Robinson. Did we see some David Robinson regression? Shaq and Vin Baker both in the top 5. AI in Sacramento, which is not like close technically to Vancouver, but it is when you look at the whole American map and where Vancouver is, and Sacramento in Northern California. I mean, Seattle and Vancouver would be a lot closer, but AI, probably likes being in Northern California. You got Stephon Marbury, Steve Nash, Kobe, and there's Sharif, number 5. 6th man of the year goes to Larry Johnson. Well, yeah, he's backing up Kevin Garnett. That is a nice power forward duo there. Clark Kellogg still chugging along at age 35. And there's Sharif. There's Joel Goodwillie, who was drafted. He's actually been pretty good, but not Jason Kidd good, who's currently number 3 in MVP voting right now. Shaq is the front runner for Depoy, and then clutch player is Donnell Marshall, who's very good in New York. He is very good. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be making any moves here at the deadline. Vernon Maxwell was traded for a first-round pick. Otis Thorpe was traded for Alton Wood. I have no contract extensions to deal with, so let's advance here through the deadline. I also do want to see if we had anybody make the All-Star game. If we at least had Mohamed Abdul-Rauf, there we go. And yeah, a couple Knicks made it. Shout out to them. A couple Celtics, Reggie Miller and Jason Kidd. And here's the dunk contest. Kobe Bryant was in it. There's the West All-Stars as well, where there was 2 Blazers to make it, 2 Spurs, and that looks like it with kind of doubling it up. And we can't say the 3-point shooters. All right, maybe that wasn't a thing yet. So Chris Webber takes home MVP once again. He's already one of the best players in the NBA at the age of 24. AI wins Rookie of the Year in Sacramento. Larry Johnson, 6th man. Shaq Depoy. Joel Goodwillie, most improved. All right. Maybe my take is not aging well. And Mark Wilkes of the Utah Jazz is your Coach of the Year. Mark Price sneaks onto All-NBA first team. I mean, this dude's a beast. Maybe just had the best year of his career at age 33. Shout out to him. Shaq, Kemp, Weber, and Kidd also on All-NBA first team. There we go. Mohamed Abdul-Rauf on All-NBA second team. Look at that efficiency. 53, 45, 98 splits. There's Reggie Miller, Vin Baker, Karl Malone, and Patrick Ewing. Third team, you got Magic Johnson, Gary Payton, KG. Calvert Chaney, man. He's been good. He's been good. 9th overall pick in 93. And then there's Hakeem Olajuwon. All defensive first team, just centers. And then there's all defensive second team with a bunch of power forwards. And then basically Rick Smits. We did get Sharif Abdul-Rahim on all-rookie first team. I mean, the efficiency wasn't great, but he joins AI, Marbury, Nash, and Kobe, which is definitely good company to be with. We finished the season as the 3 seed, so we are getting better and better each year, which I like to see. Maybe this team has a championship run in it. Just looking at basically the league leaders this year, Chris Webber led the NBA in scoring, and then you had Reggie Miller, Shaq, Kemp, Ewing. Mohamed Abdul-Rauf was number 6, so that was a hell of a signing by us. Rebounds per game, Shaq is 1, secondly number 2, Chris Webber 3, Barkley 4, Daughtry 5. Assists per game was Gary Payton, Jason Kidd, and then there's John Stockton, steals, and blocks. Now, I could do this, I might do this at the end of the video, but if I looked at NBA records, have these kind of been updated, like, career-wise? Like, career points. Magic Johnson's number 3. Is this updated in the game? Like, I believe so. Moses Malone on the Kings there. He's still chugging along. Yeah, like, are any of these guys retired? Well, I know Kareem is, right? It's just, I guess, who they played mostly on, and if they're still in the league, their current team. Like, Mark Aguirre, 11th all-time. Adrian Dantley is 8th at the current moment. So, yeah, that would be cool to take a look at, like, at the end of this series. We're taking on the Knicks in round 1. Michael Williams, Greg Minor, Corliss Williamson, Derek McKee, Vlade Divac, who's very good. This team made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Though we had we had a different Jeffries on the team. So 2 Atlantic Division rivals. We win game 1 by 3 points. Mohamed Abdul-Rauf with 39, 5, and 3. He goes 10 for 10 from the line. McKee had 27 and 9. Game 2 goes to the New York Knicks as they end up winning by 13 on the road. So they split them in Philly, which is kind of a huge result for them. And they win game 3. Oh, Donnell Marshall, forgot about him. He has 25. Was he hurt? He might have been hurt for them. All right, well, it's best of 5. So if we lose this game, we get eliminated and we stay alive. There we go. We win 116-107. Mohamed Abdul-Rauf for 30 and 13. That's what I'm talking about. Let's win game 5. Come on. And let's advance to round 2 at home in Philly, the city of brotherly love. It was not the Wells Fargo Center at this point. Come on, don't choke it in the 4th. Don't choke it in the 4th. We're up by 4. Excuse me, down by 4, down by 6. All right, let's see if this team can turn it around. We are going to watch it live and see what happens. We do have the ball, thankfully. I hate these Philly jerseys. It just screams, I guess, 90s or just historic jerseys. Those Knicks are classics, though. So we have Sharif Abdul-Rahim in, we have Cliff Robinson, and Rogers. All 3 of our power forwards are in. And then Rogers turns it over with the travel. What are you doing? All right, on the bright side, we will get some subs in at least. All right, so they got Michael Williams there at the point. He's going to find Greg Minor, who's not great. Come on, Stackhouse. I don't know, actually. That isn't. Is that Stackhouse at 33? Donnell Marshall out there kicks it over to Michael Williams. There's Greg Minor as well. Cliff Robinson, I think, is guarding him as he has a great contest, and he knocks that down. You gotta be kidding me. What a shot there from Donnell Marshall. It's an 8-point game. Yeah, Stackhouse is number 33. Coop Coach is number 7. We had Raha, and I guess that'd be Sharif Abdul-Rahim. I actually don't. No, that's definitely Cliff Robinson, right? Yeah. Raha tries to do a post fadeaway. He misses it, and that could be it. If the Knicks score here, we're kind of screwed. It's already an 8-point game. They put it to double digits. Oh, Donnell Marshall. He needs help. Oh, we're going to get upsetted by the 6 seed, aren't we? Yep, they throw the oop. Okay, Raha gets it in there. I mean, we're still technically alive. All right, 8-point game, a minute 50 to go. Marshall with the ball. Whoa, that was a crazy hook shot, but yet, oh, can't get the board. That's going to hurt. Divac goes up. That's no good. Kukoc with a massive rebound. Come on. Push it. Push it. Under 2 minutes to go. Find Stackhouse. Couldn't find Raha. Okay, kick it over to Kukoc. Kukoc goes inside. Nice pass there from Stackhouse. 6-point game. We still have a chance. All right, they kick it to Daniel Marshall. Come on, Cliff Robinson. I need you to play good defense. Send the double. That's good with me. Send the double. Send the double. No way he hits that. Double team. Oh, and he still knocks it down. All right, Raha in the post. He's going to go up with the right hand. No good. He gets the board at least, and then he gets blocked. Oh, that's game. That's a crappy way to get to lose at home, man, in game 5. I really can't wait till the series go to 7 games in round 1 because these have just been absolutely brutal to me. You have the Heat there. We have their first round pick. Yep, I mean, they don't have Magic Johnson, but they just swept the Pacers in round 1. Cavs versus Knicks, Jazz versus Lakers. Shout out to the Warriors being good, man. Nick Van Exel, Isaiah Ryder, Glenn Robinson has been so good for them. Yeah, he's been a beast. Terry Mills was a great pickup. He was so good throughout the regular season, and Isaiah Ryder's been good. So I'm glad they're good because they have been bad in this series so far. Going up against the Clippers and then Lakers and Jazz. And then here in the conference finals, you got the 1-seeded Jazz, led by Gary Payton, going up against the Warriors, who we just looked at their team. The Knicks swept the Cavs, who do have Jason Kidd. And then the Celtics ended up beating the Miami Heat in 5. I don't know who's stopping that Celtics team. No, wait. Oh, my God. Well, I'm just like a stand corrector right there, as the Knicks just beat them in 6. How? Shaq, Isaiah Thomas, Michael Finley, Vin Baker. All right. Well, you have the Jazz versus the Knicks in the 1997 NBA Finals, and it's going to go to the New York Knicks. They win in 6, and Daniel Marshall is your Finals MVP. They win as a 6 seed, and now they are cemented in NBA history. So we've seen 2 Atlantic Division teams, hopefully a 3rd next year, win it in this video. Poor Jazz, man, losing the finals twice in a row. I mean, Jazz fans are used to it with Malone and Stockton losing multiple finals. Cliff Robinson, Buck Williams, Mark Aguirre retires, so he's one of the better scorers of all time. Sleepy Floyd, Terry Cummings, Darrell Walker, Ralph Sampson retires as well. So some notable names. Xavier McDaniel, we had him on the New Jersey Nets. Wow. All right. So yeah, some notable names retire. A lot of coaches end up retiring. Hall of Fame inductees, just Mark Aguirre. Jersey retirements. He gets his jersey retired by 2 teams, the Dallas Mavericks and the Detroit Pistons. That is pretty cool. So we have a bunch of branding changes. Sixers, Kings, Nets, Bullets, and they are getting changed to the Washington Wizards, and then the Warriors have a brand change as well to one of their better logos. I like the Sixers logo, as you can see it in the top right. I don't know if we could look at like the new Warriors logo yet. Oh yeah, so like this is the new Wizards logo. I like it. I'm still a fan of it. The Warriors logo, this is goated. This is so goated. It's a solid logo now, but I like that logo so much, man. Okay, yeah, the Nets logo, I love that way more than the previous one. And is there any other teams that changed? Jazz still have that one? Okay, yeah, I think pretty much the same right there. The Cavs need to change their logo. So we're going to reject these. Draft lottery time. Who is going to win the Tim Duncan sweepstakes? Is it going to be the Nets? Is it going to be the Grizzlies, Suns, or Magic? The Portland Trailblazers pick is not there in the lottery, so I'm cool with trading it. And the Spurs don't even have their first, so they're not getting Tim Duncan in this go around. And the Phoenix Suns have a chance to take Tim Duncan after getting a top pick in last year's draft. Who did they end up with? I forgot. Grizzlies at 2, Nets 3, Magic 4, Rockets 5, Knicks 6, and won the finals and have the 6th overall pick. That is crazy. We do have our pick at 24 and Miami's pick at 20. So yeah, the Suns, who did they draft last year? It was Peja Stojakovic, 3rd overall. Well, yeah, you could have had Steve Nash and Tim Duncan, which would have been kind of cool. I don't know if we need to make any trades. I do want to see how like player progression goes with this team. Maybe we do move Cliff Robinson. That may come after the draft. So let's see. Do the Phoenix Suns take Tim Duncan? Is it a no-brainer out of Wake Forest? Yes, they do. So Tim Duncan is a Phoenix Sun. Vancouver Grizzlies select Tracy McGrady out of Mount Zion, California High School with the 2nd overall pick. So they have him and Ray Allen, 2 shooting guards in the last 2 years. Zach McCall goes 3. Okay, Orlando gets Chauncey Billups at 4. Makes a lot of sense. Steven Jackson goes to the Rockets at 5. Knicks take Antonio Daniels at 6. All right, I'm going to make a pretty notable trade. It's the last year next year, so I'm going to be moving 20, 24, and 36 or 35 for Latrell Sprewell. We're getting him out of Charlotte. He's making a decent amount of money. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty big trade for us going all in next season. So Keith Van Horn ended up going to the Bulls at 8. I was hoping he was going to fall to me. That didn't happen. So we did get Edward Jacobson there at pick 55 or 54. So we'll sign him. Stackhouse and Pena, welcome back. Gary Payton and Joe Dumars are free agents. One's 28, one's 34. Qualifying offers. Theo Ratliff and Rodney Rogers are free agents. We want to bring them back. Even Lance Jeffries, if I can as well. Do we have any other notable names that are free agents? Yeah, Radha as well. We're going to be over the cap. There's a chance I do a sign-and trade with Dino Radha as well to try to upgrade the 5 spot. Oh yeah, you got Gary Payton, Chuck Person, and Tim Hardaway, who are all free agents, or at least unrestricted. Glenn Rice as well. Is he leaving Minnesota? He may. So Radha comes back 2 years, $10 million. Rodney Rogers takes a deal from the Lakers, 3 years, $13 million. We are going to match that. Yeah, we are definitely over the cap, but I do have a trade in me. Lance Jeffries even gets a deal. I'm matching that. All right, I don't think I'm going to be able to pull off this trade, but Dino Radha, Cliff Robinson for Patrick Ewing. I would also throw in, I can't because of the stepping role. I don't even know if they will accept this offer. No. And if I threw in Enrique Pena as well, they say no. Okay, so we're going to go after Ronnie Cycli maybe, or Brad Daughtry as potential options. Vlade Divac would be nice as well. I'm trying to package them to really upgrade at the center spot. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's try it. It does not. And if I gave you Enrique Pena as well, it's a good offer for Ronnie Cycli. We're going all in next year. Like I said, Cycli, one of the best rebounders in the league as well, and they agree to that. So we make a massive trade there. We have Cycli, who's probably going to regress, but I think him and Abdul Rauf can really bring us to the promised land. Gary Payton goes to the Golden State Warriors. He leaves Utah. Would you look at that? Yeah, Cycli down to an 86, but that's fine. He will be better than Radha next year for sure. Stackhouse has been getting better and better. We could see a big year out of him. Sprewell off the bench should be a nice addition too. All right, it is the final season, the 1998 season. We got the new jerseys here in Philly. Abdul Rauf, Stackhouse, Kukoc, probably Abdul Rahim. Cycli there at the front court. We're going to have Rodney Rogers, Charles Sprewell, Theo Ratliff, and Lance Jeffries off the bench. I am excited about this team, man. System proficiency under Austin Newsome is 3.5 stars. Yeah, like I said, one of the best draft classes of all time here with Vince, Dirk, Antoine Jameson, Paul Pierce. Like, that's an insane top 4. White Chocolate as well. Jason Williams, Larry Hughes, Mike Bibby, Earl Boykin. So some good players there. Rashad Lewis in this class as well. I think the 96 is definitely better, though. Game 1, home against Minnesota. We end up winning by 5. That is a very good start to the year. I'm hoping we see some good progression from this team. We ended up losing game 2. That's fine. We have a back-to-back here. This will be a tough test. All right, 2-2 to start the year. Come on, man. This has to be the year that we can win it. Come on. It's the final year, so we have to. All right, so we are here at the 1998 trade deadline. We're not as good as I was hoping. We are currently 23-17. We're in like this middle of the pack here in the Eastern Conference. I don't know if this is a championship team right now. Mohamed Abdul Rauf in his prime is our leading scorer. Then it's Jerry Stackhouse. Abdul Rahim's efficiency, it's not great. I think Rodney Rogers might get the starting position over him for the remainder of the season. Oh, Cycli. Why didn't I check his efficiency? You know what? I think maybe I can crack this down. Let's have this guy stop taking 3-pointers. I also just looked at the rebounds and the blocks. I'm like, oh, this guy's great. Yeah, maybe he's not efficient whatsoever. I don't know why I'm just oblivious to that. I don't know if I'm going to make any trades here. Shaq is leading the MVP race. Duncan for Rookie of the Year. T-Mac's having a good year, though. Larry Johnson, 6th Man of the Year. Aaron McKee, shout out Temple, 2nd there. Shaq Robinson for Depoy. It's nice to still say David Robinson's name. Reed Towns for Most Improved. Okay. And Chris Webber for Clutch Player of the Year. Makes me laugh every time seeing that. All right, so yeah, we're going to have Rogers start for the remainder of the season. Let's see if we can have a good second half. I'm not going to make any trades. Let's just keep developing this team. Hopefully Cycli's efficiency goes up and we can have a good second half of the season and maybe land a top 3 spot in the Eastern Conference. Maybe not the 3 seed again because it didn't work out well for us last time. So Shaquille O'Neal wins MVP here in 1998. Man, he's got a great resume for someone that's only 26 years old. Tim Duncan takes home Rookie of the Year here in 98. Larry Johnson, 6th Man of the Year behind KG. Shaq, Depoy, Reed Towns Most Improved in Dallas. And then Christian Willis of the LA Lakers, Coach of the Year. Coaching, I mean, Scottie Pippen out there. You have Kid Steve Nash in year 2 on All-NBA First Team. Would you look at that, man? He's going to be so freaking efficient. Atlanta has a stud. Weber, Joe Smith in year 3, all right, he was a bust in real life, but this man is balling out for the Miami Heat so far. They have him and David Robinson, Reggie Miller on the Bulls, Price on the Bucks, KG on the Supersonics in year 3. So good, offensively and defensively. Sean Kemp in Portland, and David Robinson on All-NBA second team. Third team, you have Mohamed Abdul Rauf. Let's go. He makes a team. Gary Payton in Golden State. Okay, his numbers went down, surprisingly. You have Calbert Chaney. You have Daniel Marshall, who dislocated his left patella out for the year, so maybe the Knicks aren't going to have a chance to repeat. Alonzo Mourning, third team. Shaq, David Robinson, Alonzo, Weber, and Pippen on all defensive first team. We do have Ronnie Cycli, there we go, on all defensive second team. I can't really say his efficiency got any better. So maybe this guy's taking too many jump shots. I really don't know. We did finish as the 4 seed. We're going up against the 5 seeded Miami Heat in round 1, who have Joe Smith and David Robinson. It's a really good 1-2 punch. I can't lie. I mean, the team isn't great outside those two. So we'll see if Mohamed Abdul-Rauf, Jerry Stackhouse, or Charles Sprewell can get it done. I do maybe regret Ronnie Cycli on the team. Should have went after like Brad Daughtry or Rick Smits or somebody like that. Here were the league leaders in points per game. Shaq led the way, and then it was Joe Smith. Wow, that good. Weber, Miller, and Marshall. Rebounds, you have O'Neal, Weber, Robinson, Cycli, and Smits. Assists, Payton, Nash, Stockton, Douglas Houston. Shout out to him in Phoenix. And then Mark Price. Steals, Payton, Michael Williams, Kidd, Pippen, and Hardaway. Blocks, O'Neal, Robinson, Mourning, Duncan, and Olajuwon. Age 35. Still having good years for Dallas, though, even though he got hurt this year. All right, here we go. Game 1 against the Miami Heat. We win. All right, it's best of 5. We blow them out in game 1. Stackhouse gives me 34. If I'm going to get that out of Stackhouse, we will be chilling. I need him to emerge. Game 2. We lost game 2. By 17 at home. We split the games in Philly. David Robinson and Joe Smith, man, what a duo. This video could end soon. Don't lose game 3. Oh, my God, we lost game 3 by 2 points. David Robinson with 29 and 14. Smith with 24, 9 and 9. Here we go. Game 4. Backs against the wall. We can't lose this, man. On the road in Miami. We want to force the game 5. We have a great first half. We're up by 20. Please don't blow a 20-point lead. There we go. We're currently up by 22 points. And we are forcing that game 5. We beat them by 30. Mohamed Abdul-Rauf 24 and 12. Sprewell with 20 off the bench. Double-double for Cycli. And doesn't shoot the ball horribly. I will take that. So here we go. Game 5, winner takes on the New York Knicks, who are somehow dominating the Celtics. I don't know how that happened. So here we go. Game 5. All right. Back and forth start. We're currently up by 6. There we go. That's good. Second quarter. All right. There we go. We are currently up by 6 in the third. Philly, don't blow this, please. Come on. There we go. We're up by 15. I'd rather be up by 15 than down by 15. No shit, though. All right. I think we're good. I think we're going to advance. Let's go. Let's go. We end up beating them by 23 points. We have a dominant basically game. We won every single quarter. Mohamed Abdul-Rauf goes 11 for 11 at the line. Abdul-Rahim plays well. Stackhouse struggled a little bit, but a win is a win. Now we can look to get revenge on the New York Knicks, who somehow swept the 8-seeded Celtics. Vin Baker got hurt, I see. Yeah, Vin Baker got... No? Did Vin Baker leave? I don't know. I guess he's not there anymore. He is currently on the Hornets. Wow, they didn't re-sign him. Why? You had a great front court. The Lakers swept the Spurs. Who is on San Antonio right now? Kenny Anderson, Stacey King, Antoine Walker, Karl Malone, yeah, who is 34 years old. Utah advances with no Gary Payton. LA's there. You have Golden State. Okay, they have Drazen Petrovic now. That's really cool. And going up against Seattle with Kevin Garnett and Larry Johnson. And then you have Chicago, Atlanta. Atlanta with Steve Nash, Isaiah Ryder, Enrique Pena. There he is. Tyrone Hill, Cliff Robinson. Yeah, our kind of trade pieces there. Is Rada hurt? He is. That's not good. And then you got Chicago there, who have Kevin Johnson, Reggie Miller, Keith Van Horn, Horace Grant, and Bryant Reeves. Marcus Camby as well. Going up against the Knicks, who don't have Danielle Marshall. Can't believe they beat Shaq with no Marshall. Come on, we could beat them. Game 1, we beat them. Let's go by 3 points. This is a fine 1 seed to go up against. Let's go up 2-0 real quick. Let's go 2-0 real quick. We just beat them by 50. We just won both games in New York. Oh my goodness, the power forwards came out to play. Same with Rauf and Stackhouse. Let's go up 3-0. Okay, maybe I'm getting a little greedy as we get blown out. Game 4 goes to the Philadelphia 76ers. We win by 19. Come on, let's win in 5. And we're in the conference finals. Let's freaking go. We win by 15. Utah gentlemen sweeps LA. Golden State beats Seattle in 7 behind Glenn Robinson's 27. And Gary Payton had 8 steals in this game. So here we go. Taking on Atlanta. Steve Nash is that dude already. Cliff Robinson, man. It's the revenge series. Game 1, we win. Cycli, come on. I need you to ball it against your former team. Abdul-Rauf, 30 points. We are 3 games away from the NBA Finals. Okay, they win game 2. That's fine. That's fine. Nash, 41 and 9. Oh, he is so good. Game 3, we win in overtime, man. It was a close one, but we win. We are 2 games away from going to the 1998 NBA Finals. Make that 1. We win by 2. We're winning the close ones. Give me a gentleman's sweep. All right, we lose by 50. Oh my God, in game 6. Or excuse me, that was game 5. Game 6, we win, and we're in the NBA Finals. We won by 2 points. We won so many close ones. we had a win by 5 in OT, by 2 the following game, and then the game clincher, we won by 2. So here we are, going up against the Golden State Warriors in the 1998 NBA Finals. I have now won a championship in 2 straight Ultimate Rebuilding Series episodes. We've now gone to the championship in 4 to the 5 episodes. Didn't go in the first episode. We lost, I think, in the conference finals to the Lakers a few times. But then we lost 2 finals games, or series, back-to-back years against the Celtics in episode 2. We won 2 titles in episode 3, 1 in the final year in episode 4. Here we are in the finals, in the final season of episode 5, going up against Gary Payton and the Golden State Warriors, who are very good. Game 1 goes to the Golden State Warriors. Oh boy, they beat us by 34. It would be so anticlimactic if they just sweep us. Here we go, game number 2. Oh boy. Here we go. We ended up losing by 8. Don't go down 3-0, please. All right, we're alive. We're alive. We win by 17. Come on, let's win them both in Philly. Don't go down 3-1. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh no, this is so anticlimactic. In the final season, are we going to get gentlemen swept by the Warriors? I know they're really good. Come on, let's force a game 6. Don't choke it here in the 4th. Please come out strong in the 4th. There we go. There we go. We end up winning by 8. All right. We are now 1 game away. Just got to win game 6, and we force game 7. Come on, let's do this. Oh, okay. Just don't get blown out. Don't get blown out. And we're currently... Okay. We're currently down by 30. We get blown out at home. That is the most embarrassing thing ever. And the Golden State Warriors, who signed Gary Payton, win the 1998 NBA Finals, and Gary Payton is your Finals MVP. So Gary Payton leaves Utah after losing in back-to-back years to the Celtics and Knicks, and then wins it in Golden State. All right, well, that's going to wrap out episode 5. I hope you guys did enjoy. So we're going to kind of go over just kind of everything here on for the next episode. I'm sorry, Philly fans, that I couldn't win a title there. So the New Jersey Nets with no Reggie Miller, I mean, we're not going to do that team again. The Orlando Magic could be a fun team to do for sure. Detroit, Indiana, Milwaukee, Washington, all bad in the East. Vancouver, the Vancouver Grizzlies would be kind of dope around Ray Allen and Tracy McGrady there. They got the Houston Rockets, Dallas Mavericks, Minnesota Timberwolves, who I'm not going to do, and the Sacramento Kings. So let's kind of go over all these rosters. Mark Price and aging Milwaukee Bucks team. All right. They have Oliver Brown, Reggie Miller in Chicago. Not going to do them. Jason Kidd on the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's a really good team, so I probably won't control them as well. Boston would be fun with Shaquille O'Neal, but they're also really good. Same with the Clippers with Chris Webber. Like, they're kind of already set. So it's fun to have the challenge. And I feel like Vancouver could be fun. They were bad. They're going to have a top pick. They're an expansion team. They might be the front runner to go back to the Western Conference. Steve Nash and the Atlanta Hawks, I mean, they're kind of chilling, but it would be cool to just build around Steve Nash. David Robinson, got hurt again, man. Damn. But they have a good big 3 with Hardaway, Smith, and David Robinson. Charlotte Hornets are fun with Kobe Bryant as well. Brad Daughtry, Vin Baker. The Utah Jazz with no longer having Gary Payton. They're bad, and they're in like kind of a dark period, so we could be using them. Sacramento with Allen Iverson. The Knicks have been good, so probably won't do them. And they just won a title. Lakers are also pretty good with Scottie Pippen, and they have Antonio McDyess, who's already a beast. The Orlando Magic with Chuck Person, Muggsy Bogues, Hershey Hawkins. I mean, they're a bad team. They got Chauncey Billups as well, so we could be using them. Dallas Mavericks with Hakeem, Oakley, Grant Hill. All right, Mac Longley, they would be fun. We're not going to do the Nets since we just did them a couple episodes ago, or I guess in the last episode from when you're watching, or 2 episodes ago, I should say. Denver with Alonzo Mourning, Kenny the Jet Smith. Calbert Cheney, who's pretty underrated in this series, could do them. The Pacers with Jamal Mashburn. The Pistons had Penny Hardaway, Christian Laettner, Joe Dumars. It's actually a pretty good team. Surprised they were that bad this year. The Raptors, a new expansion team as well with Mac Potter, Stephon Marbury, Rasheed Wallace. Marbury and Wallace would be fun to build around, and they might have a top pick. Forget where they ended up. Rockets with Pat Ewing, already did them. Spurs with Karl Malone, Kenny Anderson, but they were a playoff team, but they're still not great. Suns, Glenn Rice, Mitch Richmond, Dennis Erickson. We could do the Sonics, but they're pretty good with KG and Larry Johnson and Jalen Rose. Minnesota, we have already done. And Portland, pretty solid with Kemp, Drexler, Sean Elliott, and then there's the Warriors who just won it all. And the Washington Wizards, who Magic Johnson might retire, and then this team is garbage. So yeah, the Wizards could be fun, because Magic Johnson's probably going to retire, and they weren't great. Charlotte, they were a non-playoff team as well, and they have a great front court of Baker and Daughtry, and they have Kobe Bryant. But yeah, I would say the Raptors, so the Raptors were actually pretty good this year, so I might not do them. I would say the Vancouver Grizzlies are my front-runner team, and they have Damon Stoudemire as well. So hope you guys did enjoy episode 5. Drop a thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this series. We're going to be doing years 99, 2000, and 2001 in the next episode. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you all there. Peace.